this video is over a movement called downward pulling. Okay, and really what it is, it's a loose tie up, or a loose arm and neck control like this. And yes, I can turn this into its own thing and turn it into a takedown, right? By stepping and turning like this, right? And we're going to do it over here. I'm going to do it to him. He's going to do it to me. And we're going to combine this movement. We've got about a dozen different throws here, but we probably won't do that many. But I don't know, 6, 8, I don't know, maybe do them all. It depends on how quickly it rolls. But the downward pulling is the baseline for all of this, right? And again, I can be on either side, and from here, it's easy to facilitate other actions. But I can also do it this way, where if you see me this way like this, then I can be on this side of his head or on this side. And look, I want to be, like lift your head. I want to, like if this is the base of his skull here, I want my hand underneath it. So if I apply any force, I'm going to put it down here, and then I don't want my arm like this if I can keep from it. Now sometimes you might do this and it would be out there, right? But if I can also too, I want to be able to push the forearm and the elbow into him so that I can use it in a way to move him. So push with it, push with it, right? So the throw itself, or takedown, is just here. I'm going to step behind, as I'm doing a steaming step, and I'm going to kind of pull him across and then around like that. So I'm here. And be careful with this throw, meaning you can mess up this knee. You want to make sure that when you fall that you let that leg go under you, the foot, or you can twist it. You don't want that. So from here, we'll do it nice and slow first. But step, pull, right? Now I can follow him with it. I don't recommend, like, you will see people do this. This is good on this side. They'll do it like this, and watch what I do with my knee. You see how I put my knee on the ground? Don't do that. The mats are great, right? You may have some in your school that are an inch thick or 4 inches thick or super expensive one. But don't rely on that, because if you never needed to do it on the street, you may really damage your patella. You don't want to do that. So I try to leave mine about an inch off the ground, right? And I want that mobility. I don't want to let it become dead in the water, right? Because I follow me too, like this, right? So I'm here, and as I step to pull, I'm going to go with him, right? And I'm going to do whatever I can to kind of keep me here. Now, my weight is almost a little bit too far forward, but I'm really pushing it here to stabilize him. Right? So really, I prefer to be like this. And then if I have this arm, right, from here, strike, or you can turn this into an arm control or scarf hold, all kind of stuff. So he does it to me, right? He's got a loose tie up on neck and my arm, and he's going to step with his steaming stance and take me down. And something you can do to try to, if you're practicing with a partner and you're doing a lot of these, like watch, he goes to do the throw on me, and look, I'm going to put my hand here. So when he pulls me to do the throw, I'm going to use my arm here, right? So he doesn't do the move. And look, that's kind of like I'm holding on to him, and I could also use that to flip him. But we're going to go there today. It won't look that practical to you, but this way, right? He's here. He goes to get me, and if he does this, look. I'll just pull him down instead, right? We're both falling. So anyway, whatever. That's great if you do grappling on the ground. You can play with it. All right, so we're going to start with downward pull and outer leg hook. Right? So think like this. I go to do this, and as I do, I step. He's going to resist, right? So he'll step out like this, right? So he's got me, and he goes to pull, and I'm going to step my leg like this, okay, to kind of base me. And that's where I'm going to use that for several of these, right? So I'm here with him, and I step, and he bases himself. As he does, most of my weight's here, right? I'm stepping with this leg, and he based this one. So I'm going to swing this leg back forward, and I'm going to push with my forearm and hook this leg. And I'm going to flip it. Now, be very, very careful with this one. You will blow his knee out. Right? You see what I mean? I go to step and he does this. And look, if you do this real hard like this, and mess him up. Okay? And if you're the one that's being thrown with this stuff, remember, pull your foot from under you. Right? So that when you fall, you don't have all of this torque in your knee. We don't want that. Even though the knee is the stabilizer piece and the ankle and the hip are for mobility, we don't want to blow this thing out. Right? So he does it to me. He pulls, and I go to stay at my base. His weight is here, so he brings this leg forward, and he's going to push with his forearm and scoop my leg. Yeah. Here, here. Okay, so that's outer leg hooking. We're now inner leg hooking. Same thing, I'm here, and I'm going to pull. And even, it doesn't matter, even if he doesn't jam and he steps, that's even better. Right, so if I'm here and he takes the step, but he holds himself, right? Easy for me. And then look, I would just shoot my leg inside and hook. If he doesn't, and he moves to, we'll say, neutralize the force I'm giving him, right? He steps, it's even easier for me. Don't put the leg on step, right? Either way, we'll shove him back, right? If you've got on a jacket, it's so easy to do some of these movements. We don't want to rely on a jacket. We want to rely on the anatomy itself, right? So again, he's here, and I go, and he's going to step. Again, if he steps and he keeps moving, I can get more of a flip out of it. If he jams himself like this, then it's just more like I need to shove him backwards. I'm here, I step, and then shove. Just to me. He gets me to move, and then he hooks this leg, inside leg, and shoves. Again. So if he does it this way, it's more like twist and spring off. He wants to hook this way and shove out. You do it slow. So you pull me, right? And I jam myself. Now all you gotta do is hook behind this leg and push me forward. Forward. It looks like that, right? Right. Again. I'm here, and I step. Go. Inner leg lifting. We'll do that one off of it, right? Because so if you think inner leg hooking is going this way, right? And my toe is pointing this way. Same thing for twist and spring. If I'm doing leg lifting, my toes and my heel is going to face the same way as this, see? And with the leg lifting, I'm going to catch him above his knee. Let's move this up just a little bit. I should have used 30 pieces or something. This is fine. Okay, so I'm here, and again, as I pull and he resists. All right? Yeah. So if I look at it like this, see? My leg is going this way. I'm facing here. And the control went from like this. I can leave it here, but I take the hand and I start pushing the back of his head to do this move like this. And I control this arm to keep him from moving on me. Once more. Here, I'm going to step on my stealing stance, and I'm trying to force him over. You do it to me. And then it's coming down, right? Yep. So step. Twist and spring. So with twist and spring, the toe again is going to point toward his heel. See? This way. What we just did was this way. So twist and spring in some ways is the more complex version of downward pulling. But really downward pulling is, again, it is an attachment, and it's a way to try to manipulate the other person to get them to move or to contend with them. And there's a variety of throws, knee strikes, trips, elbows, shoulder strikes, punches that you can utilize from using this high up. You know, it's going to call this like a wheeling, right? Wheeling, just like turning him with his head. And you can also call it like the other act of it, like say if I'm here, or if I'm like this, it's like you're wiping. We're wiping at this, but when I turn or do the turning action is wheeling. So downward pulling, yeah, I guess if it was one thing, but if you're thinking about how we're really doing it, it's more like wheeling the action. Like keep trying to turn and twist in with it. So let's get this twist and spring off, right? So twist and spring, the same thing. I'm going to pull in, and when he bases the weight over here, I'm going to pull the foot out and turn him under. So just a tad bit faster. So over here, step. He tries it to me. He does it again. Here I go, and I'm going to do my stealing stance, and I'm going to catch that leg. He's going to cast his weight over here, right? Because I'm pulling him into it. Rubbing and picking. Same piece again. I'm in here, and I'm going to take this leg, and I'm going to hook this leg. So let me start shoving and pushing on him like this. Somewhere in there, I'm going to try to hook it. And it's like, look, you can do like this if you're trying to pull it off the ground, but it's not as effective as this for rubbing the leg out. See? So as I rub it out now, this gives me the opportunity, I got you. This gives me the opportunity to capture the foot. And I'm going to push with this hand and dump him. Right? So if we were over here, I do whatever, and I got this, and I go to rub, right? See how I got it up? And then look, all I'm going to do is push the foot down. See how it rolls it? I don't need to do it like this. If I'm doing it this way, it's for me to sweep the foot. This way, I'm going to break the leg down. And as I go to break it down, I catch it. Once more. I'm in here. I force against it. And I catch it. You gotta get force into it. Nope. Bend your knee. Now, sit on your ass. Now, push forward. See? Oh, okay. This way. See, look. I sit on my ass, and then I drive that force into it. And then look, I'm going to scoop it up. I'm going to push with this. Once more. And then force it. Roll my foot. Catch it. Push up here. This way. Horizontal throw. So I'm in here, and he goes to, I got my grip on him, but he goes to put his hand here on my torso. He's trying to reach inside. Yeah. I'm going to take and wrap this arm. I'm not going to let go of this one. And I'm going to do a seating stance. And I'm going to catch this leg and lift it. So in here like this, he goes for my, trying to grab into my body. And so I use this to my advantage. Again, I'm here, and he tries to reach to get me. And look, I'm over his arm. I still got this control. Lift like this. And then from here, if the guy's bigger than you, it's hard to get both legs. But if I can get this one and get him on the one, I can pull him with this to get it up, right? So I'm here, and I lift it, and I pull him under. He wraps, right? Got me here. He lifts this leg. When he lifts, he's going to pull this arm, and I'm going to land on my left side. Arm circling throw. Same thing. I'm in here, but this time he either takes this arm and tries to reach high, or this one he tries to reach high. So. Yeah, he's trying to go up and under, and I'm going to wrap him up like this, right? I'm under his arm. But look, I'm going to push into the scapula, and I'm going to control this. And look, again, if you got on the jacket, it's so much easier to do this stuff, and that's the reason why I don't do it with a jacket. I find it pointless. Even if you're going to compete 2 or 3 times a year, wear the jacket for 2 or 3 weeks before, work your grips and your tearing techniques and your spinning stuff. The rest, now let's use somewhere where it's cold and you wear a jacket all the time. This is October, we're here in Northeast Texas, and it's hot, right? Probably 85 degrees outside. So from here, the same thing. Again, I can try to take both legs, but he's bigger than me, right? On top of that, it's easier for me to topple myself. So I'm just going to lift this leg, force this up like this, like I'm doing a punch like this. And I'm turning this at the same time on that leg. Right, so we're in here, and however I ended up getting this control, and then lift. In here again, and however I got this, right, and then step, okay, we get to me. Okay, let's go. New thing, arm circling, right, underneath. Push into the scapula. You can even come this way like this, right? But look, I gotta lock him, I gotta control him too, right? Now, you got it there now. Push into my scapula. Now I get a fold like this. Oh! Yes, it makes it harder for him to try to articulate his shoulder. Alright? You got this, you're gonna lift that leg, and I'm gonna fall on this side. So you gotta think punch down. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Let's go on. Think. Punch down. Okay. Okay. Knee seizing. This is a good one. My Sifu showed me this one, I don't know, 25 years ago. So I got my loose tie up or my wheeling action, right? And what I do, he's going to jam this leg. Right? He's going to stop it. And then all I got to do is, again, use this arm and drive forward, or use my torso this way. And done. Alright, so I'm in here, and pulling is this. He does it to me. Pulling. Yeah, step in. Don't stay out there. Okay. Stay. Watch you here. Jams me, and then look, I'm going to drive everything forward. Okay. Yeah. Also, it helps you to facilitate if you're going to. It's an excellent move for my teacher used it for this. Just kind of right out here, hit the guy, and then as I dump him, you see what I'm saying? You're right here to land on this groin. Yeah. Let's see. Moving, pinning, leg seizing. Let's do leg seizing. Yeah. Over here, and wherever I'm at, I'm kind of pulling, and as he goes to try to get some kind of base, I'm going to put my leg behind, and look, I prefer this, but as I was talking a while ago, if you leave your foot flat, it's easier to slide his foot from under. Here, and look, slide the foot under. So push and pull, getting to do something, hook, and then from here, I push to catch. Does it to me. Pushes, he's got to push up here equally, he catches it, and push the guy's foot up and over. Okay. This, right? Getting in here, and as I scoop this up, push the leg away, right? It looks like this when we do it. There's a technique here. Same thing. Cracking spinning. So we're just going to do a crack from the arm. We're going to spin him, and then, I don't know, I had something else to do. So we're in here, and same thing again. He's going to try to get my waist off of this arm side over here, right? So as he shoots it in, I'm going to extend my arm. Like we did with horizontal throw, but we're going to use this for cracking. I'm going to step back with this leg in a steaming stance, force into his arm this way, pushing him out and stepping back. Stay with me, Calvin. So it's not to, I'm going to try to get him to move, right? The whole premise of this is I'm here, and look, if he had on a jacket, you would hold it like this. Makes it real easy because now I can pull all that fabric across. But this way, I'm going to have to hyperextend it and step. And then look, I'm going to catch his head on this side. And then from here, I can do almost any one of those throws again in some variation. Because I'm right back where I was at, right? So think we're here. He tries to get my waist, I lock, I spin, I catch. Flamboyant movements, right? And here he shoots for the waist. I lock and I spin him out. And look, I catch the head. I'm going to do my steaming stance on this side, and here's my twist and straight. So, this one action, downward pulling, which is like a loose tie-up, it's a takedown in its own right. If I utilize that with the mechanics of weaving, right, trying to turn the head and the arm, I can manipulate in such a way that I can do about a dozen different throws. And then from those, you can make combinations off of those even. And there's other things to do in that range. You know, we're just not covering this stuff today, but there's elbows, and then we've got shoulder strikes and locks.